Hi, today's subject is what's really new in patient engagement. But new means absolutely nothing unless you can turn the new into some kind of business benefit. Maybe it's to ask the doctor about a specific product or medication, or to learn more about different medical options, for example. My name is Bob Britting. I'm a former marketing director, executive director, and chief healthcare strategist, among other things, having worked in pharma for more than 25 years. I'm contracted by pharmaceutical companies and work intimately with all management levels of sales, marketing, promotion, and operations in highly advanced strategic development. We call it extreme blueprinting. We use some of the most advanced thinking and combinations of tools in the industry to drive business. These tools often help create highly developed performance architecture. That is, we're asked to develop structures to ensure their advertising firms and direct to patient and direct to healthcare professional engagement firms are working efficiently and effectively. In addition, from a strategic communications perspective, we have developed the most sophisticated, cutting edge, and quite frankly, unconventional behavioral engagement mechanisms used to communicate with healthcare professionals and consumers. Our highly developed techniques are or have been used by 8 brands to help drive revenues for brand launches and relaunches, which includes women's health, diabetes, oncology, and many more. Emotions are being used as we speak to actually expand sales opportunity. There are 3 major takeaways from this short video. First is stopping power. We'll share with you 4 steps that can be employed with consumers, patients, and caregivers, and healthcare professionals. The eye picks up 10 million bytes of visual information per second, but only 40 of those bytes per second become mental images. Your messaging must fill those 40 bytes impactfully, so to speak, or your promotional and marketing messaging is likely to fail to some degree or another. Second, today people are drowning in information. They're expecting to be entertained. They want to be challenged. They want to be invited to different realm of thinking. They also need to filter out extraneous invasions of their psychological inner sanctum, so to speak, just to survive the day-to-day incursions into their minds by office politics, the internet, television, talk radio, and the like. There's only so much they can or want to absorb. Third, emotional engagement penetrates deeper and is longer lasting, sometimes a lifetime. It creates the awe in advertising and marketing. In fact, in a study of 23,000 consumers by the Journal of Advertising Research, they found that emotions were twice as important as facts in the process by which people make buying decisions. The following focuses on the emotional tools necessary to have a serious impact on messaging. It also addresses how to ensure those messages are internalized and absorbed. These simple techniques will accelerate receptivity, heighten absorption, drive retention, compliance, and adherence. There are 4 key elements that help accomplish these goals and maximize the potential to create enormous stopping power. First is awe. Creating awe elicits an emotion, and is the ability to have someone visibly lean in more closely to listen or view your message, to focus on the message intensely, allow the message to resonate and absorb, then lean back in their chair and say, wow. Second is to learn. You've got them if your awe is actually awesome. Learning is a dominant motivation to both consumers and healthcare professionals. It is and continues to be a key driver once you get past the awe moment. Third is a drive to acquire. You've awed them, you've taught them, you've engaged them emotionally. The next step during their thinking process is to buy or get something. The need to acquire actually has become an emerging factor in many studies and is being used by many consumer engagement specialists as part of their thinking and measurement strategies. Fourth is the need to defend a decision. They made a decision, they now need to convince themselves and continue to convince themselves that they made the right decision. The term often used to describe this stage is called eliminating cognitive dissonance. For example, we tend to look at commercials for a car more after we buy the car than before we bought it. We want to convince ourselves that we made the correct decision. Getting them to feel the message is paramount. But emotional engagement obviously is not enough. There needs to be a combination of fact-based or clinical support and emotions-based engagement to ensure message retention or have the individual take the action that we want them to take. Measuring the stopping power of an emotional engagement can kind of be tricky. The marketing research and analytics must focus on the clinical messaging, but there must be a component that measures something we call emotional potency. Finally, was I able to compete and invade that most valuable piece of real estate, the psychological wire that's inside every single individual and different? Well, we've come to an end of the video. I'm hoping you're convinced as I am that emotions translate to dollars. And what's best of all of this shouldn't cost you a single penny more from your advertising budget. Thank you. I hope this is worth your time.